Welcome back, guys. So we're with Chris from Chain Monkey. I've been really looking forward to this because I've seen this product out in the wild, and I watched YouTube videos about it, and I've got like a head full of questions. So everybody, I think, understands the premise of it. You basically put a kink in the chain, right?
Exactly right, yeah.
You tighten your chain up to a point, and then when you release this, you've added some slack to the chain, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Right. So, well, you talk about it, and then I'll fire some questions in at you.
So grab
you're used to demoing it, I'm sure.
Absolutely, I've done it a fair few times now.
I can imagine.
On the back of the package, you've got a table there, and what that table does, it equates to the amount of tension required in the chain.
Okay.
So, say for instance, you've got a 520 chain or 530 HD chain. You measure the size of the link, and that then determines which side of the table you use, whether it's a large chain size or a small chain size.
Okay.
You then look into the manufacturer's manual and you say, right, okay, for instance, I need 50 to 60 mil of slack.
Yeah.
You look on the table and say, right, based on that, then I need, a setting 3 on the Chain Monkey.
Okay.
All you then do is set the Chain Monkey accordingly.
Okay.
So it can be used for anything, from 3 millimeters all the way up to 90 mil of travel, depending on what the bike requires. So you've got the setting lines here on the back. All you then do is adjust this until the bottom of the domed nut is in line with the setting line you require. So this one's preset to setting 3, just purely.
Oh, I see. So there's a lock nut here on the bottom.
Exactly.
Right,
yeah.
okay.
So you've got the locking mechanism on the bottom here. It's more of a guide than locking. It means it can be easily adjusted for any bike spec.
Okay.
This one's preset to setting 3. So the bottom of the dome nut here to setting 3.
So you say preset. So as we're turning that in, it stops. Does it at that point?
Yes,
because
this
of
one
this.
Exactly that, exactly that.
Yeah.
So we preset this one, you can adjust it to anyone, any setting you want, and adjust this upwards accordingly, so it always stops in that position.
Right, okay.
All you then do is adjust it downwards, pop it onto the chain, and tighten it up. And as you were saying, that this induces an arc into the chain.
Yeah.
So this arc that's being induced now is essentially a predetermined tension based on the spec of the bike.
Okay.
So purely down to the size of the chain and the bike spec within the manual.
Okay.
So this arc here now, setting 3, is preset for the 530 HD.
Okay.
All you then have to do is adjust the wheel backwards until the slack's removed from the chain.
Right.
So this isn't until the chain is completely tight, because you'll never get.
This is my question.
Absolutely,
because there's an awful lot of, with chain tension, as you know, which is why you've invented this. I'm guessing there's a lot of ambiguity, isn't there, in terms of how tight it should be, and. This tension now, in my head, there's just as much ambiguity in that as there is when you're just adjusting it without this.
So
if you're adjusting your chain, I don't know, let's say an R1, early R1, it's got a 12 mil bolt and a little plate that slides backwards and forwards. I know from 30 years of experience of working on these things that a quarter of a turn on the spanner, is the difference between it being too tight and too slack, right?
Absolutely,
There isn't much.
No, not at all.
There isn't much of a window to get that chain perfectly adjusted.
Absolutely.
Now, let's say this was on an R1 now, and I moved the spanner a quarter of a turn. I'm not so sure I'd feel the difference in that chain.
You wouldn't do.
Yeah.
So the reason being is, if you look at the top section of the chain now, you'll see you've got the slack in the chain.
Okay.
So if you watch the actual chain itself, so you can see that it's dropping.
Yeah.
So say for instance, when there's no tension in the chain at all now, you see you've got an arc in the chain here.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you're watching a section of the chain, say for instance you apply it to the bottom section of the chain, you can also apply it to the top. You apply it anywhere on the chain itself.
Yeah.
You look at the longest section. All you then do is, as you're adjusting the wheel backwards with the Chain Monkey preset, this is what this demonstrates. So you see the arc here.
Yeah.
As you're adjusting the wheel back, you'll see the chain move upwards.
Okay.
And what that does is it will go completely straight and stop moving upwards as soon as it gets the setting through there. And it goes completely straight.
Okay.
Anything past that, you won't be seeing the movement in the chain. So all that is you literally take it back until as soon as it goes straight.
So as you're moving this, you're watching the movement in the chain constantly, and the moment it stops,
you would be. So that is representing how you'd be adjusting your wheel backwards, for instance, on the markers.
I see.
Or on the swing arm. So as
you're moving your chain adjuster, you're looking for this to literally stop moving.
Exactly. As soon as that stops moving, that's when the slack's removed.
Okay, so that's how you remove the ambiguity in terms of, because that was my biggest question. I was a little bit, I've been doing it a long time, and it's like, is this one of those, just an opportunity to sell some stuff. Right, so that removes the ambiguity. You're looking at the chain as you're doing your adjustment, and the moment it stops, Right, okay.
Well, bear in mind, we've got more than one manufacturer now that use the chain monkey for assembling new bikes. So
that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Well,
we're not allowed to say who that is, but yeah, there is more than one that use them on their assembly lines.
Okay.
So, and like I say, that's all it is until the actual sag in the chain here is removed. As soon as it goes straight, that's when it sets.
Right. Okay.
Because that's what determines as being the tension or the slack within the chain, rather than putting it into tension. You know, if people keep adjusting backwards, all you're doing is putting spring into the chain. You're not doing anything else.
Yeah. That's what worries me with something like this. I kind of, it's obviously, it's clearly a great idea. In my mind, the skill required, I guess, to what am I trying to say?
The only skill required now is your eyesight.
You've got, you've got to. Is that
need.
where this comes in? Is this something to do with that, or not?
No, this is laser alignment.
Right. Okay.
So Laser Monkey's been launched recently. This clamps onto the sprocket or the pulley.
Okay.
So we've got a large one here to represent pulley, you know, as it clamps to 0 to be on a sprocket. And what that does is this sends a laser down the chain, or the belt, depending on which one it is, and that way you can determine whether your pulleys or your sprockets are in line.
Yeah.
So, for instance, now I mean, you can have 1 millimetre here on your markers. Everyone knows that swing arm markers generally out by a millimetre.
They're a disaster.
That's it. And 1 millimetre at this end of the wheel end can equate to up to 3 millimetres engine side. You know, so if you have that distortion within the swing arm, you're going to get a lot of distortion here. It starts taking off the sides of the teeth and wears everything down a lot faster.
You know, from a rider's point of view, though, really you're more interested in whether the back wheel's true with the front wheel. This is great, but really you want to put some straight edges. To do it right, you want straight edges on the side of the wheels.
What you need to make sure
from a riding point of view, this out of alignment ever so slightly, you know, there is some side movement in the chain on the sprocket, as you know.
Of course.
So if this is I completely agree that it needs to run true, but when I do it, I'm interested in how the two wheels track together.
Of course, so you'd obviously align your rear wheel to make sure everything's aligned. If you can get away with a very small amount here, but if you start going past that, and you're trying to get your wheels in line, but you've got your rear wheel majorly over, you're going to cause quite a lot of damage.
Have you found from playing with this that you find that manufacturers' marks are quite very often out, aren't they? I know when I put straight edges on bikes.
Yeah, we've looked. Something like 95% of bikes are out.
It's terrible, isn't it? Yeah, absolutely. Because I service a lot of bikes and I use straight edges when I do chain adjustment. And customers will often come back and say, "Well, hang on a minute. It's not. What are you doing? If you've done it wrong, it's like, well, hang on a minute. I'll get the straight edges and just show you how badly out the marks are."
This is what people don't realise is how far the marks can be out.
I mean, it's a guide, really, isn't it?
It is. I mean, as we all know, swing arms are fabricated. You know, majority
mass-produced.
That's it. And you always get distortion because of the welds within the swing arms themselves.
Cool. Going back to this,
of course.
So this. What I need to do is I need to actually use one in the wild, don't I, and form an opinion, a proper opinion of it. Maybe we could do a review on one summit on the channel, possibly. So you've just got to pay attention to this going straight and stopping. It's almost like you need a DTI on it or something, so you just, a dial gauge just so you can see it stop. Then it'd be super accurate, wouldn't it?
Yeah, for super accuracy, yes, but because you've always got a tolerance within the manufacturer spec anyway, if you're watching that by eyesight, you don't need to be pressing up and down, you literally just see the arc removed. As soon as it goes straight, that's it, that's
in your instructions, I haven't read the pack, but you already know this, I'm sure, but even in some new bikes, or when you put new chain and sprockets on, you spin the wheel and there's a natural tight spot. Right. So that's explained in your instructions. You've got to get it to the point.
Exactly that.
At the tightest point before you do any adjustment.
We always say, if you've got a major tight spot within the chain, please replace the chain and sprocket. As I'm sure you'd be saying to everyone else as well, because you can cause a lot of damage.
And you've really got to pay attention to what the manufacturer says, because the relationship between the front sprocket, swing arm, pivot, centre, as you know, a lot of these, they tighten up, don't they, as the suspension compresses. So
people seem to think, 1 inch, 2 inch, every bike's the same. Every bike,
no, they're all different.
It's completely different, and actually it's completely dependent on the arc of the swing arm.
Absolutely.
So what we say to people is, look at the manual, look at the spec that's determined for the bike. That is specifically set for that bike.
You need an app for this. This would be good.
We should do really,
for the calculation.
We should
just punch some numbers in, and that'll make it easier.
We could take it off the dimensions of the bike and put their bike in, but the manual gives you a rough guide anyway. And also, if you've got a bike that requires weight, as I know that's generally a question we get asked, is what about rider's weight? So,
the manufacturer's spec is taking that into account, right?
Exactly, So a majority of them will say on the side stand, on the centre stand. If there is one that says, okay, you need rider's weight applied, what you can do with the chain monkey is you can put your rider's weight on, get someone else to set it using the chain monkey in your normal method. Lock everything off, take the rider off, and put the bike on a side stand, centre stand of your choice, upper stand, whatever it is.
I think most people that are in the market for this sort of thing, they're going to have a paddock stand of some sort, aren't they?
Exactly. Yes.
I would hazard a guess that 99% of people that are going to buy this, they're going to have an ABBA stand or a paddock stand or something, aren't they, to get the wheel off the ground.
And if they remove the rider's weight tent and then put it back onto a stand that they prefer, that they do their maintenance on, what they can then do is, they've already preset it with the weight on, they've used the chain monkey, take the weight off, put it onto the stand, put this back on, take a reading, and that will give you the setting that you require with your weight taken into consideration, so you never need a second pair of hands.
But nobody's going to adjust the chain on the side stand, are they? Because you have to spin the wheel and find that natural tight
that's
spot.
it, I mean, we do a wheel monkey as well, so you can actually do it on the side stand.
Oh, is that the little ball bearing-y
Yes,
thing?
So, bike, I haven't got one here, unfortunately, today. I'll show you, otherwise we would do. But yeah, you can do it on the side stand with the wheel.
Do you roll the bike onto that?
Absolutely,
and that allows you to turn the wheel without...
And using a side stand.
Yeah, because a lot of people... I mean, I use an ABBA stand daily for servicing bikes, but a lot of people are terrified of, you know, especially stands with a hook into swing and arm bobbins. People are terrified of using those stands. Yeah, okay, that's cool. That's awesome. I'm actually... I came a little bit sort of, not negative, but, you know, I had some reservations, but now you've explained that it's all about, that's cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, I like it. It's good. Yeah. So we'll have a freebie then, and
absolutely.
We'll give it away to somebody.
Yep, do a competition. More than happy to.
All right, that's cool.
And if you want to, can have any of the lubes, the cleaners, try as well.
Yeah, we'll give some stuff away to people that subscribe. Awesome.
No problem.
You're a legend, mate.
Thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
Cheers. Oh yeah, how much is it? Every person we see, I forget ask the price. How much is it?
Chain monkey is $24.99.
Okay.
And the laser monkey is $34.99.
Okay. And available from?
You could buy it from, there's various retailers, J&S Accessories, any of the bike kit dealers as well.
Do you directly sell through a website yourselves?
Yeah, we've got a website ourselves, tru-tension.co.uk.
tru-tension.co.uk, okay.
And there's also in the likes of Halfords as well.
Halfords? Wow, okay. Fair play.
And that's for the full range, so all of our lubes. Everything's produced here in the UK, so we're a complete UK manufacturer, whether it be tools or any of our consumables, everything's UK based.
This is your design, right?
Yes, it is,
So what's your background?
Engineering is my background.
Right, okay. So you're a biker though, right? Is it?
Yes, we've got a lot of off-road, so family have got a farm.
Right,
so
okay. So you've been on dirt bikes since you were this big?
Yeah, pretty much, Unfortunately, with my lung condition, I've done a lot of karting as well because bikes have been too physical for me.
Right,
but, whole family massive bikers.
Right, okay.
So anything from Harleys, off-road, on-road, you name it, we've got it.
You saw a problem and you came up with a solution.
Absolutely,
The engineer's way, innit?
Yes, yeah.
Fair play. Anyway,
Thank you.
Appreciate it, mate. Good man.
Appreciate your time.
Take it easy. Thank you.
Brilliant.